Dhyana through the magical combination of music and words, analysis of the kritis of Tyagaraja, Sri Tyagaraja and Sri Muthuswami Dikshita. Sri Subramaniam ji.
Namaste to all. Namaskaram to all. So just a background before I get into demonstrating the magical combination of music and words and how that can induce dhyana. The Sangeeta Ratnakara and the various Sangeeta Shastra treatises, they say Nada Dheena Mato Jagat. Nada is the foundation of the entire universe. We commonly call, we refer to music. That is called as Sangeetam in our tradition. And Sangeetam does not just mean music, it is Geetam, Bhadyam, Katha, Nrityam. All these three are combined together to form music or Sangeetam. And these three, the Sangeeta Ratnakara says, originates from a subtler entity called as Nada. Now we know from the Upanishads that the highest thing that to be known and to be thought upon and meditated upon is Brahman. Brahma Vidapnoti Padam. The symbol of Brahman is Pranava. Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha, says the Yoga Sutra, which is to be meditated upon. And when the Pranava and Brahman unite, the Sangeeta Ratnakara says, the Nada Bindu Upanishad says Nada is produced. So Nada is definitely the highest form of, one of the highest form of meditations and one of the highest objects to be meditated upon. So Nada is definitely worthy of meditation, which is why we find the term or the practice of Nadopasana, Nada as Upasana. Even the deities of Saguna Dhyana, whom we meditate upon in their Saguna form, in their formful aspect, Tyagaraja Swami says they gain their lustre because of Nadopasana. Nadopasana, Nadopasana, Jai Shankara, Narayana Vibhu, Velasirivo Manasana to Pasana, says Tyagaraja Swami in the beautiful Raga Begada. That is, even Narayana, Shankara and Brahma, they attain their lustre because they are doing Nadopasana, meditation on Nada, that primeval form of Brahman. Now this is meditation on Nada. Now the further slides I am going to illustrate how Nada can aid even in Saguna Dhyana or Saguna meditation by the beautiful combination of the Nada, the musical aspect, as well as the lyrical aspect, the Sahityam and the Sangeetam together, which has been wonderfully interwoven by the great Bhagyakaras, Tyagaraja Swami and Muthuswami Dikshita. So I am going to take some illustrations of their kritis and highlight this to you. Let us take some abstract concepts. What is this? Akasha. When you have to meditate on Akasha, in the Brahma Sutras, etc., we find the meditation on Akasha. But how do you describe Akasha? How do you bring out the expanse of Akasha? If you were to purely do it through Nada, I would say the long notes of ragas like Devagandhari. And that is what Tyagaraja Swami employs when he says Akasha Shariramo Brahmamane Akasha Shariramo Brahmamane. So he brings an expanse of Akasha in that line of Devagandhari. You have to describe a calm, peaceful mind. Nichitamu nishchalamu nirmalamani phrases of Dhanyasi. The same raga to describe a disturbed mind. Tyagaraja Swami describes his own mind, which is so flustered and going all around. He uses different phrases of the same raga to describe the fickleness of his mind, and in the beginning, the long phrases of the raga to describe the calm, stable mind of Lord Rama. Now, coming to Saguna Dhyana, Dhyana on various deities, the formful aspects. Here you have the beautiful form of goddess Meenakshi of Madurai. You have the famous shloka from the Meenakshi Pancharatnam of Adi Shankaracharya, Shrimat Sundaranayikam Vayaharam Jnanapratam Nirmalam Shamabham Kamalasanarchitapadam Narayanasyanujam. So this induces us a kind of dhyana in us. How is the same thing accomplished through music? The beautiful kriti of Muthuswami Dikshitar. Meenakshi Rajamatangi Meenakshi. In the Charanam he says, Shame Shankari Digvijaya Pratapini Shame Shankari. In classical music, you have this concept of Neraval. That is, you expand on a line to induce that line to give you more and more meditative power and dhyana. So here he says, Shame Shankari Digvijaya Pratapini. Shame, that beautiful complexion, dark complexion that the mother has. Shankari, the consort of Shankara, Shrimat Sundaranayika. Digvijaya Pratapini, she was the queen. So she had a conquest. She conquered the entire world through her powers. Shame Shankari Digvijaya Pratapini. Shame Shankari Digvijaya Pratapini. Shame Shankari Digvijaya Pratapini. Shame Shankari. So you expand more and more and more on the same line that induces more and more dhyana of the Divine Mother in us. The great form of Goddess Kamashi in Chipuram. We have the verse of the Mukha Panchashati by Mukha Kavi. Harana Parachidrupa, Kanchi Purasimni, Kama Pithagata, Kanchi Simni Kumari Kachana Mohayati Kama Jetaram. The entire verse brings the dhyana of the goddess in us. How does music accomplish this? Kamakshi Kamakoti Pithavasini. In the Anupallavi, Kumari Kusumajuti Hemamarana Bhushani. This is describing the form of the mother. So this again expands through the Neraval. Kumari Kusumajuti Hemamarana Bhushani. Kumari Kusumajuti Hemamarana Bhushani. Kumari Kusumajuti Hemamarana Bhushani. Can go on expanding more and more to bring the essence of the line and induce dhyana on the form of the mother. There is another beautiful kriti of Tyagaraja Swami in Madhyamavati. Vinayakuni Valagu Brogavedi Puvinave Purevaram. The highlight of this kriti is the Anupallavi beginning, which is again induces It is like a supplicant devotee wanting to take the mother into her fold. Anath Rakshaki Shri Kamakshi Anath Rakshaki Shri Kamakshi Anath Rakshaki Shri Kamakshi Anath Rakshaki Shri Kamakshi Anath Rakshaki. Again, you can go on expanding and plead to the mother and bring again the meditation, the dhyana on the motherly aspect of goddess Kamakshi. Now we come to the Ishtadevata of Tyagaraja Swami, Rama. How many kritis? I am not getting into the aspects of the lyrical beauty because that is there in every kriti. But what induces dhyana on the form of the nature of the Ishtadevata? When you see Lord Rama like this and you want this form to get established in yourself, Tyagaraja Swami uses the royal gate of Darbar. Rama Virama Ramaniyana Rama Virama. How beautiful are you, Rama? This also describes the strength of Rama. This very form of Rama describes how strong he is, how firm and determined he is. Meru Samana, Meru Samana, Dhira Varada Raghu, Veera Chutamu. He is like Mahameru, very firm. Tyagaraja Swami uses the Maya Madhava Gaula, which is that expanse, gives that firm stability to that kriti. When you move to the other form that you want to see, keep on seeing this form again and again, and hence you want the Lord's form to get established in yourself as a bhakta. Kana kana ruchira, kana kavasana ninnu, kana kana ruchira, kana kavasana ninnu. The beautiful face of the Lord. Vanajanaya namo, Vanajanaya namo, Vanajanaya namo. He uses the lilting Mohanam to describe the beautiful lotus-like eyes of the Lord. The form with the Kodanda. The royal form of Devagandhari. You always have heard of Rama being Ajanubahu, that is, the long hands that reach till the knee. But how do you describe this long hands in music? Ajanubahu Yugam Shri Janaki Pate Ajanubahu. That expands of Ajanubahu. Even when you have to describe the place of the Lord, like Ranganatha is resting in the Kshirasagara, the Sangatis of the music are also adapted. The Aurangashahi Kriti of Tyagaraja Swami. You will feel the waves of the Kaveri, the slowly building up waves that are there on which Ranganatha is resting. And you feel that you want to stay in Srirangam. This is Vaikuntha. How does that dhyana come into you? Bhuloka Vaikuntham people do Naravel here to just establish that Vaikuntham in themselves. Bhulokam Vaikuntham idiyani bhulokam Vaikuntham idiyani bhulokam Vaikuntham. That is how the words and the music bring Vaikuntham in front of us. Due to paucity of time, I probably will skip this one slide and move to the next one. This maybe I'll very quickly highlight. In the Kriti Sri Subramanyaya, Lord Muruga is worshipped by both the people on the earth as well as the Devas. So Dikshitar brings this out beautifully by saying, Bhu Suradi Samasta Jana Pujita Charanaya. He keeps it in the Madhyasthai. When he speaks of the Devas, Vasavadi Sakala Devavadi Taya Paraya. The Devas, the celestials worshipping Lord in the upper sthai or the upper octaves. I end with this last song and the last slide. The Pattabhishek of Rama, beautifully described in the Valmiki Ramayana, the last chapter of the Yuddha Kanda. The very form of Rama, the coronation part, the people who are present there. How to bring all this into your dhyana? The beautiful kriti of Dikshitar, Mamava Pattabhirama. Mamava Pattabhirama. In that, in the Charanam, Chatra Chamara Karadhrita Bharata Lakshmana Shatrughna Vibhishana Sugriva Pramukhadi Sevita Tri Vasishtadyanugraha Patra Dasharata Putra Maniranga Balyanankrita Navaratna Mandape Vichitra Manimaya Simhasane Sitaya Sahasamstita Sucharitra Parama Pavitra Guru Guhamitra Pankajamitra Vamsha Sudha Bodhi Chandra Medhini Pala Ramachandra Mamava. The entire scene, all the people, everything is brought to our mind through the beautiful lilting Manirangu. So auspicious, considered an auspicious raga for this auspicious ceremony, and he brings the whole thing into our mind. So these were few demonstrations, few illustrations. Due to paucity of time, I have not been able to do justice maybe to all of them, but I just wanted to give a glimpse how music itself can induce dhyana. Namaskaram and thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Sri Subramaniam Chidambaram ji, for that melodious presentation. So, means how raga or the music is the vehicle that carries the content of dhyana into the dhyata was so beautifully elucidated by both your talk and also the presentation. But as a person with some background, a little bit of background in textual studies in yoga, this question comes to me. In Nadanusandhana, which is a part of Hatha Yoga practices, what we hear is Anahata Nada, the unstruck sound. So the sound which is not struck. Whereas the Nada that was demonstrated here was Ahata Nada, means that's created with the combinations or vibrations outside. So as a musician, as a scholar, how do you think one moves into the Anahata realm from the Ahata realm? Or is it, or do you think that the Ahata realm itself is fine?
So that's a beautiful question, Jayaramanji. The Ahata is only for the Saguna worship for the beginners, I would say. So that is to take the person into the fold of dhyana, into the formful aspect. But definitely, Tyagaraja Swami himself mentions in many of the kritis that this needs to move into the Anahata. It needs to move into the, so from the Sahitya, it needs to go into the Swara. It needs to go into Sangeeta first. After Sangeeta, it needs to go to where the Sangeeta is coming from. Then it needs to identify the source. And when you start going into the source, it goes into that nada, which is from which the entire thing emanates. So he does bring that concept through, but he puts this as the starting point. So whatever I demonstrated today was more on the ahata as a starting point, but I definitely agree with you that it has to lead to anahata, and it has to lead, that is the difference between nadopasana and just mere musical presentation. If you are a mere musician, you will stop with ahata and you will do all the gimmicks of musical itself. You will not get into the anahata. Only if you are an adopasaka, you will get into the anahata and then finally reach the source.
Thank you very much. It's a lifelong sadhana which makes a person graduate into that anahata state.
Correct.
Thank you very much, Subramaniam ji, for those thoughts and